Argentina squad for the Autumn Nations series. It's not been kind of happy days for Argentina, at least in recent months. I mean, they had the kind of highs of their away tour to Wales, where they got a series win, a win and a draw, albeit Wales without their British and Irish Lions. And then Argentina travelled down to South Africa and Australia to play in the Rugby Championship. It didn't pick up any wins, so it was a bit of a disappointing tour. But it's kind of hard to gauge where the Argentinians are at in recent times because, man, they haven't played at home. They have been on the road for seemingly months and months and months and months, either with their clubs or with the international side. So it's been a bit of a tough time for them. And they've got 3 pretty big games in the Northern Hemisphere coming up. So we'll go through the squad, their fixtures, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on how you reckon the Argentinians might go and what the expectations are for them. For hookers, it's Bosch, Montoya, who's captain, and Ruiz. Ruiz is an uncapped guy. It had been Cecino, but I'm not sure what's happened with Cecino, if he's out injured or if he's just not selected. But I mean, Montoya realistically is going to start every game and probably play 60, 70 minutes. That seems to be what he does. He's been in phenomenal form, and he's still only 28, despite seemingly being around for a bloody long time as well. 72 caps he has amassed. I do worry a little bit about how much they invest into him, and that there's not, like, if he goes down, who do you start? It'd be nice to get some more minutes into a backup as well, just to spread things around. Props, Bello, Gallo, Cordella, Martinez, Medrano, and Tetas Chaparro. So it's a good mix. It's good to have Cordella back. I think he was missed in the Aussie fixtures down in the Rugby Championship. The scrum time was not always the best, but I mean, Gallo, the guy from Benetton, who loves scoring a bloody try, 2 against the All Blacks, and I've been watching him play for Benetton. He's a right prospect at only 22 years old. He's only had that 1 cap against the All Blacks, but he's looked good. Martinez, I think, was called into the squad with the withdrawal of Higena, who is out injured. There's no Clavi, and Muzio Pieretto, so there's a bit of changing around in terms of the props. But, yeah, fingers crossed it's an area they're able to show a bit of improvement. Locks, Crema, Lavanini, Paulos, and Petty. Paulos is also one of the guys who's been called into the squad because Alemano pulled out injured. He's been back at his club, and I think he might have picked up an injury in one of those games. And Alemano was actually having a really good time of it. Like, despite the fact that Argentina weren't having great results, Alemano was a bit of a standout for mine. So that's quite disappointing. But I mean, Crema, Lavanini, and Petty, that's those kind of core 3 guys who've been trucking along for quite some time. Paulos has only amassed 2 caps in his time, so not sure how many minutes he's going to get with those 3 guys in front of him, but again, it's always nice to build a bit of depth. Back rowers, Martin Gonzalez, Grondona, Isa, Matera, and Oviedo. There's no Bruni. He is out injured, which is unfortunate because he's been one of the better performers in recent times as well. Well, that being said, I have been impressed by Juan Martin Gonzalez. He's only 20 years old, but man, that guy just has got a huge work rate. He just gets up and tackles and tackles and tackles and tackles and tackles again. So, yeah, happy to see him play. And Isa in the back row is certainly a good guy to have at number 8 if you want someone to get you over the advantage line. Matera is always there. And then Oviedo is one of the guys who's been called in for Bruni. So whether he gets any game time, well, there's only 5 back rowers, so probably, although they could play Petty or Crema in the back row as well if they choose. Halfbacks, Bertrano Kubeli and Gonzalo Garcia. Good to see Kubeli back. He didn't get a lot of game time in the Rugby Championship due to injury. We did see Garcia get some caps. Good to see, again, a bit of depth building, because leading up to a World Cup in a couple of years, that's what you need to be doing. Fly half, Carreras and Sanchez. You guys, Miotti is the obvious guy who's just absent, I guess. I mean, Miotti seems to have been on the outer. They seem to want a guy who's going to be more of a threat ball in hand than Miotti, who is more of a kind of playmaker. So there you go. Miotti's on the outer, which is a bit sad. I feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity because he seemed to have bags of potential. but has never really been given a proper chance, with Sanchez hogging a lot of the minutes. But I mean, it's sometimes just the way when you've got your kind of all-star 10. Just look at the All Blacks when Dan Carter was playing, or Johnny Sexton at Ireland. When you've got that one guy, you feel the need to play them as much as you can. But Carreras in the Rugby Championship actually looked pretty good, making the move from the outside backs into number 10. Midfielders, Cinti De La Fuente, Mensah, Moroni. And then outside backs, Boffelli, Carreras, the two Corderos, and Del Gui. Santiago, I think, was only called in because there was an injury to Malia. That's right. Malia, who's been kind of a regular at fullback, is out injured. So you've got Cordero there, but then you've got Boffelli, who can cover fullback as well. Facundo Cordero, who's been playing in the Premiership, has actually looked pretty good. He is one of the other new faces into the squad who does not have any caps yet. So it's only the two potential debutants for Argentina. It's interesting, Argentina took a lot of guys into the Rugby Championship, but not a lot of them got that much game time. Some guys, like I think Diaz Bonilla was on the squad, but I don't even remember him at all. You know what I mean? He was one of the guys, I think, who drove to the wrong area of Australia and got kind of locked out due to quarantine stuff. I'd forgotten he was even on the tour, so it's a bit of a weird one with how Ledesma spreads out the minutes, but I'm sure he's got his plan. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The fixtures are France, Italy, and Ireland. France is going to be a pretty tough one away from home, you would imagine, but the Pumas guys are pretty used to playing away from home at the minute. I forgot to mention Chocobates is one of the guys who's out injured, which is also pretty disappointing. But yeah, France away, Italy away, and Ireland away. Italy is surely a game they're targeting. Italy may be trying to smell blood at the moment, with Argentina kind of like themselves being on a bit of a losing run. So that's going to be an interesting battle as to who can kind of get on top. I think Argentina's got a pretty decent record over Italy in recent times, but I have not checked. That's just off the top of my head. And then Ireland, who Argentina likes to beat at World Cups, but maybe not so much outside of World Cups, could also be an interesting one. But yeah, it will be fun to watch to see how these teams go. Argentina could certainly use a win or two. I'm not sure what the expectations are. At least one win, I would say, over Italy. And then maybe everything else is a bonus. But these guys who have been doing it tough could certainly use some good news. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts on the squad. What do you reckon? Some of the guys who have been left out. What do you think about Miotti not getting a crack? What do you think about the new props coming back in? New props, like the existing props coming back in. And yeah, you guys have any thoughts? I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.